Welcome back. You're watching KURA 2022, and this evening we are with the Kajiado County Governor Joseph Olelenku, who is here to tell us more about the county and his re-election plan. Governor, thank you for staying with us. Let's talk about the on-source revenue, and we talked about the funds that follow the functions. And when you look at the report by the Auditor General, enough has not been done by the counties, especially to generate their own revenue in terms of emboldening or rather flourishing their economies at the county level. When you look at the top 5 counties, they are the traditional ones: Nairobi, Nakuru, Mombasa, Kisumu, and the county of Kiambu. And you look at the top 5 bottom that have not yet managed to expand their tax collection base. You have Samburu, Isiolo, Wajir, Mandera, and Lamu counties. Do you think, though at its infancy, the devolved system of governance can do better than that in terms of the tax collection or on-source revenue?
Absolutely. A lot more remains to be done, but for purposes of being specific, I think Kajiado we have done very well. When I came in as governor in 2017, Kajiado was in the level of 500 million in on-source revenue, which we were able to push in 1 year up to 1.2 billion, almost more than threefold. That indicates a potential that exists. But of course, as they say, Rome was not built in one day. The counties are not going to achieve their revenue targets, in a shorter period. Okay. But I think efforts is being made towards that direction. CRA has time and again indicated and even given incentive for counties that shows effort, use of correct system, automations to collect their own source revenue. Okay. So I think as Kajiado, I'm very proud that we are able to push our own source revenue more than threefold. Of course, like every other county, we were interrupted by COVID-19. But seeing where we were and where we are now, it gives us a clear indication that Kajiado's potential is way beyond 2 billion. And I think it is a target that we are going to hit, God willing, if the people of Kajiado give me the mandate, which I'm seeking. And so I think we have covered some good grounds, but more grounds remain to be covered. Okay, the way is a use of technology. Okay. Automation is a way to go. Closing avenues for pilferage, as we think that a lot of revenues in the county get lost at source. And so closing those avenues for pilferage will help in a big way to make sure that counties realize better on-source revenue.
Thank you. And then how will you factor in the Amboseli National Park? It must be a blessing, isn't it?
Amboseli National Park, as the name suggests, is actually under the national government. In our devolution system, parks that were national reserves like Mara, Samburu, and others fall under the counties. Parks that were national parks like Nairobi, Nakuru, Amboseli, Savo fall under the national government. So unfortunately for Kajiado, we do not have a park, or rather we don't take those revenues from the national park. And we have been demanding that the fair share of revenue from Amboseli should go to the county. Okay. The people of Kajiado bear a big brand from the wildlife. They lose their grazing space, they lose life to wildlife, the competition for resources and water is a big deal. So the KWS must pump more resources into the local communities to mitigate against the human-wildlife conflict, which is a big problem.
And I'll come to the drought aspect, because Kajiado is also a semi-arid county among the counties that the government has listed as one of the most affected. More than 3.1 million Kenyans, according to the government, across more than 15 counties. What has the county government done to mitigate the efforts from not affecting the livelihoods of the people in your county?
As we are aware that climate change is real, and we know that this is a cyclical period, that every 4 or 5 years is going to be a long drought, we began the sensitization of asking people to cut hay and preserve hay. We had a program that we were running as a county government to sensitize people that during the good harvest, please cut some grass and keep it for the bad period. That has actually carried us quite a long way. Unfortunately, being a startup and having not been the uptake being by those who are able, still we see a lot of loss of wildlife animals because of lack of pasture. But also we did a lot of water pans, mitigated the drought for some time. Sadly for now they are dry, and so we are praying for the rains to come. And so I want to appeal to the national government that actually in Kajiado we are also suffering.
Thank you.
the belts of Magadi, Torosei, areas of Lenkisim and some parts of Chulu, where many of the animals have migrated and require not only support for animals, but also human food.
Okay, thank you.
And so we have that problem that really the national government need to come in and intervene.
Okay, let's come to the deputy governor's position. And there has been a concern raised as to the office of the deputy governor across the 47 counties. There are not so healthy relationship between some governors and their deputies. The case of Nyeri County, I hosted the Council of Governors chairperson here, the Honorable Martin Ombora, and he said he doesn't know where his deputy governor is. The case of West Pokot County, the governor said, I've sent him abroad to the United States of America to go and find medical equipment. I've sent him to ship back to the country, yet he was drawing salary from the public coffers. What's your thinking in terms of perhaps an amendment is needed to strengthen the office of the deputy governor so that he can be a bit autonomous from functions that, according to the constitution now, are accorded by the governor for him to undertake?
I think I must say that I'm a blessed man to have my deputy Governor Moshisho. Moshisho and I work so well that our relationship is so cordial. Many a time when his colleagues come to our county when we have functions and see how we relate, they get very surprised. I think that it has to do with the personality of the leader, the ability to accommodate and guide. And so no amount of legislation will mitigate against personal character, how you treat people. And I know that about 5, 8 or 10 counties out of 47 may have problems. I don't think that is to say that the entire system there is a problem between the governor and the deputy. If you look, you have only mentioned 5. Add another 3, put it 8. So 8 out of 47 is not a very bad situation. So I don't think that the issue is legislation. Of course, if we are to legislate to strengthen that office, it does no harm. But how the governor and the deputy relate will in a big way have to do with the character of the two individuals. In some instances, it might actually be the deputy that is a problem. I know in many instances, the governor is looked upon because he's the father, he's the head, he's the one to accommodate, which is true. He bears a bigger responsibility. But I am happy that on that front, again, Kajiado is a model of how the deputy and the governor work so harmoniously. Yes.
What's your opinion of the current standoff between the president and the deputy?
I think it's a very interesting situation. The president has tried very much to explain what went wrong. The deputy has made a rejoinder. And I think these are two men who have different personalities. And I don't know where they lost their chemistry. But I think there is a lot of information that has come out from both of them that if we want to know more, let's just refer to what we see every day on TV, in the newspapers, it is there. And so I don't think there is much for me to comment because both have made an explanation to Kenyans.
And as a cabinet minister who ranked high amongst the other colleagues because you served as the interior CS for some time before you changed from that portfolio, and you came or you were birthed as a result of when the relation between the president and his deputy, the honeymoon was better, may I say. And have you not tried to establish what went wrong?
God has been very gracious to me. When I look at my life, and interestingly, I'm writing a book. It's actually at a very advanced stage. I look at my life born in Amboseli Plains under the shadows of Kilimanjaro. Walk through the hospitality industry to the top in such prestigious chains as Serena Hotels, Kenya Utalii College. Having been Minister for Interior and now Governor of Kajiado, I can only say that God has been very good to me. And I pray that every place I pass, I leave a positive mark. I think I also did in Interior. I think I did. But I think about my bosses, the president and his deputy, let's leave it to them.
When we get back from the break, we talk about and finish up on all that is shaping up to be a tough contest between the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and the Deputy President Dr. William Ruto ahead of the August 9th general elections in the country. And you're watching KURA 2022 with Kajiado County Governor Joseph Olelenku on the broadcast this evening. And we are back with more after the break here on the broadcast. Stay tuned.